Good morning, children. Today we are going to continue with chapter 4, Gopi and Bagha. In the previous class, we studied about Bagha's obsession and impact on drumming on his parents and villagers. Today we are going to study about how Gopi and Bagha met and became good friends. So please pay attention while I read and explain the chapter. Bagha lived happily for some time. He could play his drum without people chasing him out of the village. But after a while, his peace was disturbed. Now, when Bagha was thrown out from the village, he lived quite peacefully and happily in the forest. For a few days, he was very happy. He kept on practicing his drum. But suddenly, his peace was disturbed. He started getting frightened. He was somewhat scared. He was feeling insecure in the forest. Now let us come to know what was his insecurity, or why was he feeling insecure in the forest. The forest had no tigers, but it seemed to have a terrible beast. Now in the forest there was no wild animals, no tigers. There were no other beasts that could harm Bagha. But still he was feeling insecure. He was feeling scared. Why? Because he could hear a terrible sound coming up from the other part of the forest. Bagha had seen Bagha had not seen any animals, but he was hearing some terrible sound coming from the other part of the forest. Bagha hadn't seen it, but he heard it roar in the distance. His bellow would make him tremble and shake. Now Bagha never saw this wild creature, but the loud roar of that animal, the loud roar of that animal would make him tremble, would make him fear. He used to get very fearful and he used to shake in fear and be very terrified all over. This creature will probably eat me up and my drum too if he sees me. Now when Bagha heard this bellow of this creature, he started fearing for his life, as well as he was started fearing for his drum. He thought that this creature would eat him up as well as would eat his drum. Bagha thought and decided he should find another forest to live in. Then Bagha thought for a few days, it's best that I should leave this forest and go to another forest and take refuge over there. The terrible beast was none other than Gopi guide. What Bagha thought was the beast's roar was Gopi practicing his song in another part of the forest. Now, at the beginning of the chapter, we read about a singer named as Gopi guide, and he also shared the same faith. He also had the similar faith because why? The villagers did not like his song because he had an unimpressive voice, he had a terrible voice, due to which he was also thrown out or banished from his village. And where did Gopi took refuge? He took refuge in the forest. Now that terrible beast voice that Bagha was hearing, it was none other than Gopi, who was practicing his song on the east end of the forest. Gopi could also hear Bagha playing the drum, and he too was terrified by its loud roar. Finally, one day he decided to run away from the forest. Now, Gopi, on the west end of the forest, east end of the forest, Gopi, where was Gopi? Gopi was on the east end of the forest, on the other end of the forest, and Bagha was on the other end, means on the west end of the forest. They both were in different directions, and they both were getting scared by they were listening to each other's song and music. So they both were getting scared and they both were terrified. So it was the same case and the same scenario for Gopi also. He was also getting scared from inside. He was also trembling. He thought that there was a creature in the forest that would eat him up. As he was making his way out, he saw another man carrying an enormous drum on his head. So while Gopi was coming out of the forest, he saw another man or another boy of his age carrying a huge drum on his head. Gopi was amazed, he was surprised, he was shocked to see this person and asked him, "Who are you?" "I am Bagha Bain." "Who are you?" said Bagha. When Gopi asked Bagha, "Who are you?" then what did Bagha reply? Bagha replied and said, "I am Bagha Bain." And the same question was being asked by Bagha, "Who are you?" And then Gopi replied and said, "I am Gopi Gain." "Where are you going?" asked Gopi. Then Gopi asked Bagha, "Where are you going? Why are you running out from the forest?" They both were asking each other's question. Why were they running out from the forest? I will go wherever I can find a place to stay. Then Bagha replied and told Gopi that I would go to a place where I can stay. So why can't you stay in the same forest? Bagha replied, "All the people in my village are fools." Then Gopi asked Bagha, Gopi asked Bagha, "Why are you leaving? Why are you searching for a place to stay?" Then Gopi told Bagha that I am searching for a place to stay because all the villagers in my village are fools. They do not appreciate my music. They insult me, they ill treat me. For that reason I am leaving this. I left my village and I am staying in the forest. They cannot appreciate good music. That is why I came to stay in the forest. Then Bagha told Gopi that the villagers did not appreciate his. They don't have any knowledge of good music and they do not appreciate him. For that reason, he was living in the forest and practicing his song. He was being banished from his village. But there is a terrible beast here. If I stay here, the creature will surely eat me and my drum too. That is why I am going away. Then Bagha told Gopi that there is a terrible creature present in this forest. For that reason, I am so scared that maybe this terrible creature might eat me up as well as my drum. For that reason, I am very shocked. I am scared of my life as well as I am scared of my beloved drum. This is the only drum that I have. So that's why I want to, for that reason, I am trying to leave this forest. "You are right," said Gopi. Then Gopi told Bagha that you are right. I am also hearing a terrible sound coming from the forest. I think so there is a beast present or available in this forest, due to which he was also making a move out of the forest. I am also running away from this beast. Tell me, where did you hear its roar? Then Gopi asked Bagha, "For that reason I am running away from this forest. But tell me, from where did you hear this roar?" Then Bagha said, "I heard this roar from the bamboo thicket." He heard this roar from the bamboo thicket, from the east end of the forest. "Why, that was me," cried Bagha. Then why, cried Gopi, sorry. "Why, that was me," cried Gopi. Then Gopi said, "No, it was me who was practicing my song. I was practicing my song there. It wasn't a beast." "You heard my song," said Gopi. "That wasn't the beast. That beast roared on the west side of the forest by the big banyan tree." Then Gopi says, I also heard another beast roaring from the west end of the forest. I was getting this sound from close to a banyan tree. Then Bagha replied and said, "No, that was me under the banyan tree playing my drum." As they realized that they had got scared listening to each other's music, then both of them, after coming to a conclusion and after having a conversation, both of them realized that they both got scared in listening to their music. Then they became good friends. They bursted out in laughing. They started laughing at each other, and then Gopi and Bagha became very good friends. And from that day onwards, they decided that they would go and play for the king. I hope so, children, you understood this story. I will give you I will be giving you a summary of the story in short, so that you might understand it more better. Until then, thank you. Take care.